Hey, what's up guys? Threat Level Midnight here, and it's the range day today for our semi-auto versus bolt gun comparison. Ordinarily I wouldn't stack these guns up against each other, but the M1A I'm going to be using has performed so well recently that I figured I'd give it a shot. So we'll go over the guns that we're going to use and some of the parameters that I'm going to use to gauge how good these guns are, and we'll get into it. All right, so the M1A, for those of you that have been following my other videos, then you know that it's just it started its life as a M1A, just a standard walnut, just a GI model. I put it into a Sage EBR chassis, didn't shoot too well. And then I ended up buying a GI fiberglass stock off Numeric Gun Parts. So what I did to accurize the thing is I bedded it with JB Weld. I polished the trigger a little bit, and then I shimmed the gas system here, and that tightened it way up. And then to give myself an edge and give myself a consistent cheek weld, I went with a Matthews Fabrication adjustable cheek riser, which did everything that it needed to do. The scope today is a Vortex Diamondback Tactical. It's a first focal plane. And I know this isn't like a top tier Vortex offering, but so far it's performed just fine. And I've just kind of used it as like a test medium to see if it's worth putting some different glass on this gun, or if I can just leave it the same. The mount is the Springfield Gen 4 mount, and then the ammunition I'm using, it's going to be a 168 grain Sierra Match King that I hand load myself. It's proven to be a real tight shooting load, and the last group I shot was about 0.42 inches with this gun, so we'll see what we can do with it today. All right, and for the bolt gun here, what we have is a Savage Model 10, and just has a fluted threaded barrel on it, and this came stock from Savage like that with the Accu-Trigger. We have a Night Force 20-minute base and a Schmidt-Bender PM2 scope on here. It's in the MDT Oryx chassis, which I've been liking a whole lot. And for the muzzle device, a Surefire Pro Comp 762, and it seemed to tighten the gun up quite a bit after adding a muzzle device to it, and really killed the recoil, so I've been real happy with that. But this gun shoots real tight groups too. The last string I shot was about a 0.49 inch group, so that's why I wanted to kind of stack the M1A against this bolt gun today. But let's go ahead and get shooting, and we'll see what we can do. So before we get started, just kind of want to go over what we're going to be doing. So to start, we're just going to shoot some strings at 100 yards. I'll start with the bolt gun, and I'm running a 178 grain ELD match projectile out of there with the hand load that I make. I'm just going to shoot some strings. I'll shoot 5 rounds into each one, and we'll take the best 3 out of each string of 5. And then I'll drop down to the M1A, shoot the same thing, 5 rounds on each target, and we'll go ahead and put some calipers on them and see what gun was able to hold the tightest group at 100, and then we'll start pushing it out at range on steel. This thing is going to lower to the ground. That's better. And I pulled that one. Could feel it on the trigger press. Okay, so I can already tell right now that's going to be a tough string to beat. But we'll go ahead and shoot another. And that one shot that's on the left, I completely pulled that one off and felt it as I let it go. So on to the center target. All right, looks like 2 of those out of that string are a little bit low. Still a good group, but we'll shoot our final string and continue on. All right, on to that right side target. You guys got ears on?
Yeah, I'm going to get his ears on right now.
Okay. Are they on, Cowman? Okay. All right. And on to the last. Now this one's really shaping up. Wish I could stop at 3. All right, well, you can kind of see it there. This gun shoots real tight. Looking under an inch on all of them. And remember I said we'd take the best 3, but this gun's shooting tight enough to take the best 4. We'll move on to the M1A. All right, so now we're going to go with the M1A 168 Sierra Match Kings and see what we can do. Bolt gun performed really well, and I have high hopes for our M1A here. But distinct advantage to the bolt gun, the ability to put a bipod on the thing. All right, go with bottom left.
A little high.
Okay, that first string was good. I will say that the difference between a bolt gun and the M1A off the bipod, bolt gun's a lot more stable, and with that Surefire Pro comp on there, it's a lot easier to keep yourself on target after each shot. I found myself adjusting after pretty much every single shot with the M1A. All right, on to the center target. Huh, that one went pretty far off. I didn't feel like I pulled that one either. bags here. All right, that center group opened up just a little bit and move on to the right side. Man, that thing really knocks me off the bags after each shot. Yeah, I pulled that one off to the right a little bit, or off to the left. All right, let's go down and take a look. So looking at the target here, both guns shot real tight. That first string with the Model 10, I pulled this one 100%. And these ones are all, here's 3 touching and 1 just off. Second string opened up a little bit. This group right here, center to center, is probably still under an inch. And then this one shot real tight. A little bit of horizontal string there, but very good. And then opening group for the M1A, this one shot real tight too. And just like the Model 10, a little bit opened up on the center target. And move over to the last one, favoring all this side. And this one, I actually pulled this one over, so I might put a little adjustment on the M1A just because all the groups are kind of favoring that right-hand side there. But all in all, they both shot really tight. I'll have to put calipers on it, but just based on what I'm seeing out here, it looks like the Model 10 probably edged it out. If I'm going to take the best 3 shots out of each 5-round string, the Model 10 probably took it. Okay, so now we're going to shoot some strings out at steel. I want to get 2 hits on target to consider each steel neutralized. So first target's at 350. It's a 10-inch round. Last time I was out here, it's a 1.3 mil hold, so we'll go ahead and give that a shot. Looks like just underneath here. Shot number 2. It's a hit. I'm good, buddy. How are you?
You hit the target, Cal, man.
Let's see if we can neutralize this one right here. There we go. I'm going to call it 1.4 for future reference here. And that was 3 shots total. So we'll go ahead and switch to the M1A and see what it can do before we move locations. Okay, so neutralized that one in 3 with the Model 10. Last time I was out here, 5.3 minutes was our hold. And we'll go ahead and give that a shot and see if we can keep up with the Model 10.
There's one. This gun throws you a little bit off target, so it's hard to see your where you're hitting if you miss. So it looked like to me that was a little high. Go ahead, just hold on that bottom edge of the plate. And that one looked just right. So shot number 2. Number 3. There we go. Looks like we're just drifting off the right edge. Very gentle breeze on shot number 4. And neutralized on 5. And like I said, before we started shooting today, I wanted to adjust a little bit to the right, or to the left, because all my groups were favoring right, and I never did, and we were just kind of drifting off that edge. So I'll move it over 3/4 minute to the left here, and that should keep us centered up for the rest of the day. I think we probably could have neutralized it faster if I had imparted that adjustment in there. But we'll switch back to the Model 10 and go out to 587. All right, so now we switched over to the 587 yard target. Last time I was out here, 3.6 was the call. I'm gonna go ahead and go up just a hair from that. I'm gonna go to 3.8 because my 350 was a little bit light of a call here. And these targets are 12 by 18 reduced C-zone silhouettes. All right, wind feels calm out here, so I'm not going to impart any windage adjustment. And there's a solid first round impact. Oh, pushed off to the right edge. And so 3 shots to neutralize there. Might be getting a very gentle breeze off the right. I'll continue that hold when I bring the M1A out. All right, so the Model 10 neutralized it in 3. Maybe getting a little breeze out there. So I'm going to continue the wind hold with M1A. Last time we were out here was at 14 minutes. So we'll go ahead and dial to 14. I like this bag to be a little bit higher here. So I'll hold left edge of that plate and see where that puts us. Adjust our parallax here. There we go, first round impact. Oh, off that right edge. And neutralized in 3, just like the Model 10. Thanks, pal. Okay, so now moving out to 750. It's the same size target as the 587. Last time we were out here, 4.8 was the hold. I'm gonna give it 5 flat. Maybe 5.2, just because we're dropping out just a hair today. We'll go ahead and see what we can do here. And it looks like we're drifting to the right. I'm going to go ahead and hold that that left edge of the plate and see what that does for us. Okay, no wind whatsoever. Elevation looked good though. Now we're off that right edge. Same location on that right edge. Go ahead and go up to 5.6 and hold half a mil off the left edge. There we go. So that was shot number 4. See if we can do that again while the wind's still the same. Ah, too much on the wind there. Just underneath. One, two, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That was shot number 7 with 1 hit on the board. Now we're back to no wind call at all. And there we go, neutralized. So that's 2, 4, 6, 8, 9 shots to neutralize at the 750. A little bit of a wind game out here, but my call did need some adjustment. It was shooting a little bit low. So my final was 5.6. And that was, like I said, 9 shots. Go ahead and top this mag off. Okay, last time we were out, the call was 21.3. So we'll go ahead and rotate to 21.3. 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. And I can't go 0.3, so it's going to be 21 and a half. Let's see what we can do here. So we were dancing between a very small wind call and no wind call. So I'm going to give it no wind call and see where this first one lands. Alright. Like about a half-minute low. Go up to 7 1/4. Oh, sorry, that would bring us to 22
Throw it overhead.
1/4.
No, that was sideways. Look.
Drifted off left edge.
There you go. Good job.
And there's a hit on the third shot. See if we can do this again. Off that right edge. And there you have it. That was significantly less than the Model 10. I think that was 6 instead of 9. Well, we're back at the bench after shooting today, and what did we learn? Well, quite a bit. We'll start with the numbers from 100 and just kind of take a look at the target. Like I said, we started with that the Model 10, and like I said, I was going to take calipers on the 3 best out of 5 to try to take out some of that human error. These guns are both really capable. So this first group right off the bat was super tight, other than the one that I called that I pulled. Best 3 out of there are looking at a 0.35 inch group, which is really tight. Next group opened up to 0.82. You know, and we're going center to center, best 3. And then the next group right here, really tight. They kind of all laid horizontally right there, which is kind of unusual grouping for me. This gun's never printed, you know, like horizontal groups like that, but neither here nor there. Best 3 out of that one were 0.54. And then on to the M1A, the first group that I shot here, the best 3 on this one was a 0.49, which is pretty darn good. And then the next one here was a 0.76. I took these 3 in the center. And then the next group here, I took this one on the edge. This was actually the shot that I had pulled, and that was at a 0.84 right here. So the average group size for the M1A off of these 3 strings was 0.69 inches, which I'll take that. I think that's great. And then the average group size for the Model 10 was 0.57. I expected it to shoot better. You know, when you're shooting a gun that's in a chassis that's on a bipod compared to like an old school gun, you know, the stock's rounded on the bottom, it's not flat. So just holding it steady, could I hold it more steady if I had more bags and, you know, just a better setup? Sure, I could, but that's how I shoot. That's how I shoot when I go out. Maybe in the future I'll get some other bags and things and give that a shot too. But that's how I shoot this M1A, and I kind of want it to be a mobile rifle, not something I need to plant on a bipod every time. But I will say that Savage Model 10 is a lot more comfortable to shoot, just all around, between the muzzle device on it, the Pro Comp, and just the chassis itself. It's got a little thumb rest. It's just a pleasant gun to shoot all around. But they both performed quite well. But overall accuracy edge, especially just prone, it's going to go, the edge is going to go to the bolt gun. It was very close. I mean, you guys saw how close it was, 0.69 to, what did I say, 0.57. So we're, you know, 12 hundredths of an inch off, which is pretty cool. I think that this gun, the M1A, has kind of wowed me from the beginning with everything that's gone into it. And you look at, you know, the gun that it's up against, and you'd say, oh, it's just a stock Savage in an Oryx chassis, which is, you know, MDT's kind of bargain line of chassis, but it performs phenomenal. And then to have this M1A go up in a standard fiberglass stock with a lower end Vortex offering on there, and hold it 0-1 and consistently shoot tight groups, and to track when we put our dopes in at long range. You know, I'll leave this glass on for now until something better comes my way, but I'm not going to go out of my way to switch it up right now.
you know, as far as like guns that are fun to shoot, well, yeah, it's fun to shoot a laser beam that's, you know, planted on a bipod. But you know, this gun for being, you know, what it is in classic was pretty darn cool. And then look at my notes here. So I wanted to neutralize each target, and at the end of the day, the M1A did better, and for a couple reasons. And the first being, I've been shooting the M1A a lot lately, like quite a bit, so I'm more comfortable with the trigger pull, just the way that it shoots in general. I have fresh data from a week ago on the M1A, and I haven't pulled the Model 10 out to shoot in I don't know how many months. It's been a while, so you know, I had to adjust my dopes on there a little bit, so it took me a little bit to get them on track. They're all real close, but it was a little bit more humid today than the last time. And the last time I shot it, it was still about 75 degrees, so temperature-wise wasn't too different. Humidity was a little bit more humid today. But at 350 on the Model 10, it took me 3 shots to neutralize the plate. The M1A took 5. And then at 587, they both did it in 3 shots. And it came down, you know, especially when you get out to, you know, past like 500 yards, you're looking at kind of a wind game out there. And once again, I didn't bring any range flags out there, just making calls just off of what I can see on the Mirage, and brush down range. So they both did it in 3. And then at 750, again, maybe I just had more favorable winds for the M1A. Maybe not, but I'll tell you what, 5 shots to neutralize it out there for the M1A versus the 9 that it took for the Model 10. I'm a little embarrassed about the 9 shots because 750 ain't that far. I pushed that gun a lot further than that. But overall, it took 13 shots for the M1A to neutralize targets and 15 for the Model 10. So from the 0 accuracy went to the Model 10, and then just neutralizing targets went to the M1A. So kind of a toss-up with what's better. But kind of anecdotally, when I was done shooting, my father-in-law was out there, and I threw both of these guns in the Bog tripod, and just set them up at the 587 yard target. And with the Model 10, the gun's so comfortable. You dial in, and he shot 3 out of 3 hits at 587, no problem. He loved the gun, comfortable to shoot. And then when we switched to the M1A, kind of uncomfortable, kind of weird length of pull. You know, the cheek riser's really adjusted just for me right now. The recoil throws you off target. So, you know, he had a first round impact and then missed like 4 shots after that. And his just evaluation of the guns, you know, from his perspective was, hey, the Model 10 and that chassis was just way more comfortable to shoot and way more user friendly. You know, it's got easier controls, the bolt's nice and smooth. And I get that, I really do. But the mission of today was to put these guns up against each other. And I'll tell you what, and you know, as far as like a battlefield gun, I'd take the M1A over that Model 10 because it performs to me just as well. I mean, you know, realistically, do I know the difference between a 0.69 inch group and a 0.57 inch group? No. The M1A is lighter than that Model 10. And then at range, it neutralizes those targets in fewer shots with much cheaper glass and much cheaper everything on it. So all in all, I think that's a big victory for the M1A today. The Model 10 shot great too. I'll push them out to 1,000 in a future video. It's just in the interest of time, moving cameras around and stuff. It's hard to get everything going. Plus, you know, off camera, I'm testing hand loads for a 300 Win Mag and chronoing those and zeroing hunting rifles and a lot of things that are going on behind the scenes. You know, Christmas came and went. Hope you guys had a Merry Christmas. Got some new lighting here for the workbench, which is great. It'll help making future videos when I'm on the bench. Hope you guys had a good Christmas too. And if I don't see you, Happy New Year. And thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe.